Hi, this is Anna Crowe with the Get Real podcast, where CEOs, CMOs, and communications experts share their real advice. It's 6 questions under 9 minutes because we get to it real fast. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, Lisa, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm Lisa Gable. Hello to everyone. I am the CEO of FAIR, which is Food Allergy Research and Education. We are the largest private funder of food allergy research around the world.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on today. We're excited to have you as a guest.
Well, thanks for having me.
Lisa, what would you say is the best thing about being a leader in your industry?
Well, this is a new disease category. The number of people with food allergies has risen rapidly since 1998. And so as a result, there's this amazing opportunity for innovation in the space. And we see entrepreneurs stepping forward in agriculture, AI, technology, healthcare, in research and therapies and diagnostics and food and beverage. And so watching everyone try to tackle a disease that affects so many people is really important. And the thing to know is we just produced some research with McKinsey and Northwestern and Global Strategies Group. And what it showed us is that 1 out of 4 people in the United States actually avoid eating the same top 9 allergens. What that means is you have all of these people, 85 million Americans, avoiding these top 9 proteins. So that's lost revenue for some. It results in people having, in some cases, life-threatening food allergies and anaphylaxis. And others, you have people who are having food intolerances. And so it's a big problem to be solved. And it's just exciting being at it at this point in time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you guys are doing such great work, and it's such a powerful message that you get to deliver. You know, I hear from other successful executives that creating authentic connections, whether it's to customers, you know, when you're educating the public, or your team, can be challenging with all the noise today. What's your take on that?
Well, with COVID, we have tried to really think outside the box. I mean, part of it is that I'm a highly personal person. I have a hands-on diplomatic way in which I manage things both in the US and abroad. But what we did is 2 really interesting ideas during COVID. One is that we had a virtual fair for our kids, which was an arts and crafts fair. And so every night, as these kids are at home, we had them producing material all day long, and then they'd send it to us, and I would pull it together, send it out to the team. My husband and I would dutifully print it off on our printer, hang it on our refrigerator, and send pictures to the kids. Because during COVID and during the time we're all at home, your family is actually part of your job. And so the first time we're really delving in and getting to know people. The other thing is I am a huge letter writer, and I have written hundreds and hundreds of letters over the past 4 months, you know, to all of our donors and our activists and our advocates, just letting them know we care about them, we're checking in on them, we want to see how they and their families are doing. So high touch, being very personal, caring about people and what is going on in their entire life is what I say is the key to success.
I really love that. And on the first part, I think I need to connect you with my kids as well, at least the organization. And secondarily, you know, you reminded me of something I was reading. I was writing some cards the other day by hand, and you forget how, you know, what a big effort it is, but really it's not. You think it's a big effort, but when you do it, it's such a nice high touch thing to do. So that's really cool. You're doing that. Elisa, what piece of real advice would you give to other leaders? Is there anything else that you think is really important?
Well, I have a couple of things that I always try to do. One is take advantage of every opportunity around you. Even during a crisis, there are interesting opportunities that are going to give you insight into something that can help you solve a big problem later on. The other is I build personal teams. I've now been working for about 35 years, and I have teams of people that I've brought with me through multiple different jobs. They're people that I know I can rely on, and they're people that, you know, they think the way you do. But the most important thing is those team members are important to me. So what I know is I need to help them up the career ladder. I need to actually invest in them, even if they're not directly working for me. Maybe they're helping me out with something, or I bring them onto a board. I need to understand what's important to them, because we're all going to be more successful if we help each other grow. And I guess the last piece of advice is I always tell people, just never give up. I have now been through 9/11. I've been through the Cold War. We've all been through the pandemic together, multiple stock market crashes. Never give up. I'm old enough to know that the world always gets a little bit brighter, and you learn a lot along the way.
That is awesome advice and very inspiring. Thank you. And before we get to our last and more of a fun question, I always, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach me through lgable@foodallergy.org, or they can go on to foodallergy.org and they can learn more about the work that we're doing.
Wonderful. And our last question is more about your background. I always love to hear where people came from. Tell us about your first job.
My first job is I was a 19-year-old political appointee in the Reagan administration, traveling around the United States talking about the privatization of student loans. I put myself through college, and so they hired me to actually speak to other kids about how you do it and how the new system was going to work. It was a wonderful way to get started.
Wow, what a cool experience. Thank you so much for sharing your advice today. And everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Anna Crowe with the Get Real podcast. For more insights, visit us at crowepr.com. Thanks so much and make it a great day.